I've Run My Course by Nicola Winters. Chapter 5. I sat there next to Victor as he seemed to not want to go do anything. He has talked and been talking to Elijah, but seems standoffish and barely talks to anyone anymore. The things Elijah said about the crash and Victor being a hero made my brain throb like how it throbs when I try to remember anything from that day. For the entire week, Victor was in the hospital. He didn't want to eat, got very little sleep, and rarely did anything. When he did anything, it would be staring at the stars at night, or a small walk. His parents tried to get him to talk and feel better, but it did little to change his mood. Elijah was the only person to get him to talk about me, and to talk about how he was feeling, emotion-wise. Victor's parents agreed to have him be Victor's therapist. After the week was over, he was taken home and had to school and visits with Elijah every 2 days. His parents got him 2 or 3 of my old hoodies, 2 of my stuffed animals, some of my stories and drawings I made, and my old hair clip. After another day of discussion, they surprised him with my pet birds. He seemed so sad each time he was near them, yet so protective about the birds when anyone or anything would come near them. Today would mark 8 days of me not being there anymore, but he has to go back to school tomorrow. His parents were apologizing a lot for having to send him, but he had very little absences to play with, even with family emergencies. Victor wasn't mad, and accepted it as if it was holding one of my stuffed animals, as he went anywhere. There wasn't much for him to do that day, but he had to go to Elijah's office to talk for a while. I heard that you're going back to school tomorrow. How are you feeling about the thought of going back? Elijah asked, knowing the low chance of getting an answer that wasn't a shrug. I'm not sure. I don't mind going to school, but I don't want people asking me about it and checking on me, Victor said, holding the stuffed animal closer to his chest. This gave me a bit of deja vu, as I sat there hugging Victor, as we sat there in a therapist's office. They might not ask about it, Elijah said, trying to give him a nudge to try to have his life go back to normal. I know, but I'm not too sure I can make it through tomorrow, Victor said, knowing how hard it will be to go back and not yell or cry. I get how that feels, but I'm sure you will be alright, he said, before swapping to another topic. They continued talking for a while, and after their talk, Victor got up and went home with his dad. He skipped on eating again, and just went to bed early. I took my place by his side and stared up at the moonlit sky before I decided to rest. I've Run My Course. Chapter 6. The sun shone on my face, and through a translucent figure sitting by my window, before it disappeared, making it more obvious that I was sleep deprived. I got up to get ready for school, yet I was lazy by just staying in my baggy sweatpants and changing my shirt to a new one before putting on a random hoodie. I went to my bathroom and brushed my teeth while contemplating whether or not to brush my hair. When I got done brushing my teeth, I decided not to brush my hair. Before walking out of my room, before realizing I forgot to put socks and shoes on. My room was a bit messy when I walked in, but I grabbed some socks and put them on. After putting my socks on, I got up and put my shoes on and grabbed my backpack. Mom saw me as I left my room and had a sad smile before she said, "I'll see you later, Victor. Have a good day at school." All I could get myself to do was nod before I opened the door and walked to school. I went directly to Miss Mavis's room, and before I could go to my seat, she stopped me. "Welcome back, Victor. Are you doing all right?" Miss Mavis asked, a bit worried. I nodded before I felt Sylvia jump on me. "I was so worried about you. Are you feeling all right?" she asked, hanging on me with her arms around my neck. "Get off me, Sylvia," said, pushing away from her. "Just please, leave me alone." "Victor, please, talk to somebody. We know what happened last week. We know you're hurting." "Don't bottle it up," she said, giving me a worried look. "Shut up! Shut up! Please. I don't want to talk about it, so please leave me alone," yelled, feeling like she continued to pressure me. Like if she continued to pressure me, I was going to cry. Her heart is in the right place, but she isn't doing what is best for people. "You literally just lost your best friend. It's not healthy to bottle it all up." "I'm always here to talk," Sylvia said, showing more worry. "Sylvia, please," I cried, feeling tears crawl down my face. "Just stop asking me about it." She backed away from me before I went to the back of the classroom and sat in my normal spot. I closed my eyes and I could feel everyone's eyes land and stare at me as they walked into the classroom. "Did you hear that he couldn't even save his best friend?" one person whispered, while sitting near me. "I heard he saved 3 people before the building collapsed." "He seems really out of it, though. Could he truly be the person who saved the kids and the driver?" Another person asked, not hiding who they were talking about. "Guys, enough. Please focus up here," Smith said after a while, trying to start the lesson, but the chatter only grew louder. After an excruciating amount of time passed, the bell rang, and I was walking to my second block, not watching my surroundings. The talk about what happened last week continued, and some people blamed me for Gabriel's death. I ran straight into one of the least expected people for me to see, while he was smoking. The cigarette he had got hit to the ground, and I half expected that he'd try to hit me. But he seemed to calm down when he realized who ran into him. "Oh, Victor." "Whoa, Victor," he said quietly before grabbing me, since I guess he thought I was about to fall. He did look like he was going to say something about Gabriel, or the accident, and ask something about it. Sorry for grabbing you. It's fine, I guess, I said quietly. Feeling him let go. After a while, he turned to leave, but I stopped him, making him look at me in surprise. Could we just sit around and talk for a while? Sure. About what? I don't know, but I just want to talk with somebody today, I admitted quietly. I guess I could try, Lydo said, watching me carefully as if I'm going to fall. Maybe we could ask the art teacher about that I am the aide for to let her stay there for the rest of the day. I was a bit confused by that proposition, and that he was going to go to the art room for the day. But it would be better than being around Sylvia for a while. She wants to help, but is too energetic right now. Would that be an alright plan? Huh? I asked, expecting him to be annoyed that I wasn't listening. The idea I had is to sit around in the art room drawing or painting and doing some games. I could also ask him to allow us to make some hot chocolate, tea, or coffee, Lydo replied, not seeming even a bit annoyed. Does that sound alright? Yeah. He looked at me a bit sad, but we walked to all our teachers' rooms and got permission to stay in Mr. Bardot's classroom for today. We went to the back table with a few pens and pencils. Lydo took out some pages while I took out a notebook I was doodling in. When there was notes I already had. Victor, would you like some hot chocolate, coffee, or tea? Lydo asked after a while. I don't really care, I said quietly, putting the pen down and putting my head down on the desk. All right, he said before disappearing into the back room. I felt a somewhat warm feeling, like someone was leaning over me. Yet no one was there. My pen seemed to move on its own and create a small picture that Gabriel would draw on my notes when he would borrow them. They're always in the margins on pages I didn't draw on. After a few minutes, the pen found its place back on the desk next to me. I think I finally hit the point of lacquered sleep, where I see floating pens and drawings appear on my page. The presents were still there, hovering over me. Lydo came back with 2 paper travel mugs and handed me one that was full of hot chocolate. Those are some pretty drawings, he said, when he took a look at the page. Thank you, I mumbled, quietly picking up the pen again, before trying to draw again, letting the time pass around me.